There's something deeply unsettling about the open road. It feels infinite, a place where time stretches thin and reality becomes fragile. In Maine, this feeling isn't just your imagination. From ghostly hitchhikers to spectral brides, Maine's roads are alive with stories that defy explanation. Tonight, we'll journey down the state's most haunted routes, roads that have witnessed unspeakable tragedy and harbored restless spirits for generations. Are you brave enough to keep going? Let's begin. Our journey begins on Route 2A in the remote wilderness of Haynesville Woods. This desolate road, bordered by towering trees and dense undergrowth, has long been a site of tragedy and terror. The road's sharp curves, poor visibility, and unforgiving winters have claimed countless lives. It's no wonder truckers call it one of the deadliest stretches in Maine. But it's not just the living who travel this road. For decades, there have been chilling reports of ghostly apparitions and strange phenomena that defy explanation. One of the most infamous stories is that of the woman in white. Many drivers have claimed to see her standing by the roadside holding a child in her arms. She waves frantically, her face pale and etched with desperation, as if begging for help. Those who stop to assist are met with a terrifying sight. As they approach, she disappears into thin air, leaving only a biting chill in the air. But for some, the encounter is even more personal. A local trucker, James Thorne, shared a story that still haunts him. One winter night, as he drove his rig through the woods, he saw her standing in the middle of the road. Slamming on the brakes, he narrowly avoided hitting her. But when he looked in his side mirror, he saw her face pressed against the glass, her eyes wide with terror. Panicked, he jumped out of the truck, only to find no one there. His engine refused to start for hours, leaving him stranded in the freezing cold, surrounded by silence. And James isn't alone. Drivers have reported seeing phantom headlights speeding toward them on this road. These lights often veer off the road and vanish into the woods. Some believe these are the spirits of those who lost their lives in head-on collisions, forever trapped in the moment of impact. There's another chilling account that comes from a family traveling through Haynesville Woods late one summer night. As their car rounded a curve, they saw a woman and a small child walking along the shoulder. Concerned, they slowed down and rolled down their window to offer help. But as the woman turned to face them, her eyes seemed hollow, and her face was unnaturally pale. Before they could react, she vanished, leaving behind the faint sound of a baby crying in the distance. Now, imagine driving down this road yourself. It's late at night and the only light comes from your headlights. You see her standing there waving for help. What would you do? Would you stop or keep driving, praying she's just a trick of your mind? Our next destination takes us to Bucksport, where the shadow of Colonel Jonathan Buck looms large. The founder of the town, Buck was a man of power and influence, but his legacy is tainted by a dark tale of vengeance. In the late 1700s, Colonel Buck was a staunch Puritan, ruling with an iron fist. When a local woman accused of witchcraft was condemned to die, Buck was the one to ensure her fate. She was tied to a stake and burned alive, her screams echoing through the town. As the flames consumed her, she uttered a chilling curse. "You shall never know peace, and your legacy will burn with me." Soon after her execution, strange things began to happen around the colonel's estate. His crops failed, livestock perished, and a sense of foreboding hung in the air. But the true horror began when Buck decided to erect a monument in his own honor, a grand granite stone, a testament to his pride. Yet, something inexplicable occurred. Soon after its completion, a peculiar stain appeared on the stone, a stain shaped like a woman's leg, etched into the cold stone. Despite numerous attempts to scrub it away, the mark always returned. Some say it's the witch's final act of vengeance. Others believe it's a reminder of Buck's own guilt, slowly consuming him. Locals believe this is the witch's curse made manifest, a permanent reminder of Buck's cruelty. Visitors to the monument often report strange sensations, sudden chills, the feeling of being watched, and even faint disembodied voices whispering their names. Some have even claimed to hear the faint sound of a woman's voice calling out from the woods, "Justice will find you, Colonel." But the curse doesn't end there. Nearby roads are said to be haunted by phantom carriages, pulled by horses with glowing red eyes. These spectral carriages are believed to be driven by Buck's vengeful spirit, forever searching for the souls of those he wronged. Drivers have recounted terrifying encounters with shadowy figures that dart across the road, only to vanish into thin air. One chilling account tells of a woman who saw a man standing by the roadside late one night. His eyes locked onto hers as she passed, and she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. When she glanced in her rearview mirror, he was gone, but the sense of terror remained. Another driver claimed to have seen a ghostly carriage in the distance, its wheels turning but leaving no tracks in the snow. When he pulled over to investigate, the carriage vanished into the fog, leaving behind only the stench of burning wood and horses' sweat. Heading west, we find ourselves on Route 26 near Poland Spring. This quiet stretch of road hides one of Maine's most enduring legends, the Phantom Hitchhiker. Drivers often describe seeing a young woman standing by the roadside, dressed in old-fashioned clothes. She appears lost, vulnerable, and waves for a ride. Most drivers, moved by her distress, stop to offer help. She gets into the back seat, her presence cold and unsettling. Her eyes are distant, and she rarely speaks. When she does, her voice is almost otherworldly, as if coming from a great distance. As the car nears the Poland Spring Inn, the driver usually glances back to check on her, only to find the back seat empty. One driver, a man returning home late one evening, swore he felt her icy hand on his shoulder before she disappeared. Another claimed to hear her whisper, "Thank you," before vanishing into thin air. But there's a darker twist to this story. Some believe the woman is not just a lost soul, but a warning. Locals claim that those who pick up the hitchhiker are doomed to face a tragic accident on that very road. One survivor of a car crash near the Poland Spring Inn recalls seeing her face in the rearview mirror just moments before his vehicle careened off the road. Others have seen her walking down the highway, her head turned backward, her eyes locked on theirs with an unsettling intensity. There are rumors that the woman was once a traveler herself, a victim of a tragic accident on this very road decades ago. Some say her spirit is stuck in a loop, forever trying to find a way home. Others think she's the manifestation of something more sinister, an omen of death for anyone who crosses her path. Our final stop takes us to Route 182, known ominously as Blackwoods Road. This 17-mile stretch between Cherryfield and Franklin is surrounded by dense forests, its isolation making it the perfect breeding ground for eerie legends. The most enduring tale here is that of the bride in white. Legend has it that decades ago, a young woman was traveling to her wedding when her car skidded off the road, crashing into the dense woods. She died instantly, her life cut tragically short. Now, drivers report seeing her ghost wandering the roadside, her wedding dress glowing faintly in the moonlight. She's often described as appearing lost, her gaze distant, as if searching for something or someone. One chilling account comes from a couple who were driving along Blackwoods Road late at night. As they rounded a bend, they saw a woman standing on the shoulder, her dress shimmering in the pale light. Concerned, they slowed down, but before they could reach her, she stepped into the road and vanished. Moments later, their car stalled, leaving them stranded in the dark. But the bride isn't the only spirit haunting this road. Drivers frequently report seeing ghostly headlights appearing behind them, only to vanish without a trace. Others hear disembodied whispers coming from the woods, voices that seem to call their names. One man recounted a particularly terrifying experience. He was driving home after a late shift when he felt a sudden pull on his steering wheel, as if someone or something was trying to force him off the road. When he stopped to catch his breath, he saw a shadowy figure standing in the tree line, watching him. The figure didn't move, but its presence was enough to send him speeding away, his heart pounding in his chest. There are also stories of a phantom black car that appears without warning, tailgating drivers before disappearing into the night. Those who encounter it describe a suffocating sense of dread, as if the car itself carries an evil presence. Some believe these hauntings are tied to the land's history. Could the spirits of those who've perished on Blackwoods Road still linger, unable to find peace? Or is there something older, something darker, tied to the ancient forests that surround the road? The next time you find yourself driving down Route 182, take a moment to glance into the woods. You might not like what you see staring back at you. Maine's haunted roads remind us that some places are more than just paths to our destinations. They're thresholds, where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. Which of these stories left you the most unsettled? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.